With just 8 days until the election, the former president came home to New York City for an historic rally at Madison Square Garden and pitched voters on why he can flip the traditionally blue state.
I'm thrilled to be back in the city I love, and thousands of proud, hard-working American patriots, you're with me. No city embodies the spirit, energy, and potential of the American people more than where we are gathered tonight. We want to win our country, but we also want to win New York and make it safe and strong and beautiful and affordable and vibrant again.
Bo Loudon is a Gen Z conservative influencer who was at the rally. He joins me now. Bo, great to see you in person. Look, Kamala Harris's whole campaign, per her own admission, is all about a vibe. Tell me about the vibe at MSG last night.
Oh my gosh, it was off the charts, you know. I think people were really fired up to have a former president, future president, having a rally at Madison Square Garden. I mean, that was just historic. By all means, I mean, it would have been semi-historic even if Kamala Harris had a rally there, but I don't think that would ever happen. But it was great. We were, my family and I were actually invited by the owners. Trump gave a shout out to Jim Dolan for hosting him there. I think it was just incredible. You know, the speakers, the crowd. I mean, I heard there were some 200,000 potentially trying to get in the building. It was insane, and there was about 150 protesters, which is not that many. So I thought it was quite incredible, and I heard there were over 30 million people watching around the world.
You're our Gen Z guy. Was there a significant Gen Z turnout at the rally?
100%. I'm used to seeing, you know, the older folks who love Trump at all the rallies, but at this one it was all young people. Every turn there was a young person, and you know, Trump was getting point outs to them, and some of the speakers were very targeted towards young audience as well, like that comedian they had, and of course Elon Musk. So it was phenomenally done. It was so cool, just with the Megatron thing on the top, everything. It was incredible, and I couldn't have been happier to be there.
Yeah, the speakers you mentioned, Tony Hinchcliffe, who did the roast of Tom Brady, if you remember him, Hulk Hogan, Dr. Phil, and Elon Musk as well. You are notable for a few reasons, not the least of which is you're buddies with Barron. And Barron Trump, obviously the first son, he's actually been influencing his dad's presidential run, helping him reach younger voters. Here's what the old man, the dad, said about it last night. Listen.
We have great people. We have Barron homies watching. That Barron is watching. He's the king of the internet. He's the king of the internet.
Okay, so as we said, you are Barron's friend. How is Barron helping his dad reach these younger voters? Is it podcasts like saying, hey, Pops, go on Rogan? Or is it messaging, a combination of both? How's he doing it?
I think it's everything. I think Trump is so close with his kids that he sits down with them, has conversations with them, is like, hey, what do you think about this interview? Do you think this is something I should do? And I think all of them has been like, you know, doing great networks like Fox News is good, but I think there's some other ones too you should check out, like Joe Rogan or the Theo Vaughn podcast, things like that. And when we set up that Aiden Ross interview, that was very, very viral. So things like that, and when President Trump has done them, and he's listened to his kids, he's seen how they pull on social media, and he's like, I got to do this more often. So now we did Joe Rogan, and that's obviously massive. I think it did 10 million views in like a few hours. So it was awesome. And then this rally as well, I'm sure it was a lot of their ideas. I'm sure a lot of them had a hand in it, right. And I think it could have been better. I think over like 50% of the people that were there, it was their first time at a Trump rally.
Wow. And I think a lot of that has to do with the New York metropolitan area. It doesn't necessarily come to this area, but it could be the fact that last night was a big deal and both sides acknowledge it. I thought the biggest deal for you guys, to your point, Theo Vaughn podcast, Andrew Schultz podcast. I thought those brought in individuals, because I listen to them. Not a lot of other people do, unless you're, you know, those young kids do. And I think it brought them in. Smart move.